Han Aish. Life is a journey, Aish. It's time Ebionites wake up, find out who they are. Escape Shanae, Matt's Rain, Mama Bar. It's time Ebionites wake up, find out who they are.
We tune in for another episode of Baked Out Radio Show. I'm your host, Andres, and this is the Music and Business Talk. And we have our special guest today, OSA Man, which I try to get y'all to understand that when you're on social media, use it for networking. So another interview that come through networking opportunities. Also, I remember you said earlier, you're in the Atlanta area now, right? Metro Atlanta.
Yeah.
And you've been here for like
north side.
Hey, there's too much traffic over there. Actually, there's too much traffic everywhere.
Everywhere, bro. It don't
I
matter.
hate getting on I-20.
Man,
I'm in the Dallas area.
20 is the worst.
Yeah, it is.
From Panola Road every morning, from Turner Hill to Evans Mill, Panola, forget about it. All that rush hour traffic, it's just stand still for like 30 minutes.
Yes, I was on Panola Road the other day, and I was like, this past weekend, I was like, oh, God, I just hate this. I've never really liked the Metro Atlanta area because I felt like, it was just too many people just concentrated in the area, and you can't really move. And like I was going down, it was 2 weeks ago when I was coming back, because I go back between Dallas and Jonesboro a lot. Okay. And I was coming up 20. There was a semi truck that had caught on fire. And if you're going headed 20 east, you were sitting there deadlocked in traffic, I know, for at least 4 or 5 hours, because they still had the fire truck spraying it out there, putting it out. And I was like, it's just horrible. I see why people like to stay outside of the perimeter of 285 and don't like to go inside. Yeah, like there's people I've talked to do like.
But even that though, even that what you're talking, it sounded like it might have been right on the outside. Like as soon as you start getting outside the perimeter by Western Chapel.
It was like right before you get to Six Flags exit.
Oh, you talking about you on the west side?
Oh yeah. I'm on the west
Dallas.
side.
Yeah,
Dallas. So I was going to Dallas. I was coming back to Dallas, but I was coming from Jonesboro. So I hit 75, came up 20, and that's like quickest way to get here, unless you want to just go through Marietta or go through Douglasville, which takes way longer. But yeah, it's always traffic. But you've been here, like you said, you put out one. I love the fact when artists put out so many projects, right? Mm-hmm. Because that tells me that you actually really love what you do.
Yeah, I love
and you're
music.
And you're not doing it like some. I think now it's shifted to where some people use it as a platform for other things and not doing it for the love.
She's take me on the Shabbat morning. My mother had a pottery class. It was like downtown Kingston. They would know, because like I said, I left when I was like a child, like 7. Mm-hmm. But it was a performing arts theater school. That's the main one in Jamaica, and my mother did like a pottery class there. Mm-hmm. So she would be there in the morning, and I think she had me like doing drawing and stuff. So even later on, when I was when I went to Miami Killeen, I had to go to University of Miami on like certain times, and I did another art school, like an art class with I don't know if they're all college people. It was just weird. Like my mom always just found funny stuff for me to do in terms of art. I started playing piano in Jamaica when I was like 3 years old because of that. Just because of drawing. Then what's art is called drawing and painting, but Amari can draw. And a lot of my, I would just hear I could draw well. And what else is art? Oh, music is art. So then, and I don't remember if there was already a piano in my house, but I just remember there had been a piano by the time I was like 3 or 4 for sure. And I would be taking piano lessons because I started piano at 3. Mm-hmm. I believe 3 or 4. So then I went on to guitar for a little bit, like 7th grade. So all types of genre. And I started wanting to play guitar because I started liking classical rock for a while. Mom didn't like it. My parents didn't want me going to private school in junior high.
Yeah.
So at the time, I hated it because I got the news in summertime in Jamaica. Oh, you're not going to public school. You're not going to Nevada Middle. You're going to go to Westminster Christian. I was like, what? it didn't make no sense. It's like we're gonna drive me like an hour out of our community to go to some white people school, some Christian school, when it's America and everything is there. And, you know, there means expensive in Patois. So everything there, and you want to run up the money, and you have to drive up there. And I found out. Okay, I was just weird. There was another boy, there was a Cuban named George, and George is also going there. So me and George's mom and my mother worked out for us to like carpool there. She would pick up George and drive me in the morning, and George's mother would pick me up in the evenings. And it turned out I ended up going to school for that 1 year. I made the basketball team. I tell people all this time, I was fortunate enough to work out with Alex Rodriguez in that small ass gym at Westminster Christian School.
Okay.
Because Westminster had a elementary school, they had a middle school, and they had a high school.
Yeah.
A very small thing. I got in trouble for something I didn't want to get into. And with my punishment, I got in trouble by the baseball coach. He made me and this the other boy I got in trouble with sit there for the baseball team and catch fly balls. So I was there catching fly balls for A-Rod and his team. He started blowing up. He started blowing up in '92. So I was bugged out. Not bugged out, because I tell the story for my family. I'm picking them and everything here all the time, and people I meet. So I was like, yep, there goes my high school. It's on HBO. Alex versus A-Rod. So I was like, yeah. So that's the one thing. But there, I got more into computers, and I did excellent in art class at Westminster Christian still. But then music, I learned. I had another Spanish friend who wasn't George, named Oscar, and Oscar put me on to one of the best things in my life, and I didn't know exist when I was 11, 12 years old. He put me on something called classical rock at Westminster Christian. And I found out about Jimi Hendrix. I found out about The Who. I found out about the Grateful Dead. I found out about the Doors. I found out about Janis Joplin with Airplane. I found about Jefferson Airplane and then Jefferson Starship. I found out about a larger world of music. Of course, the Beatles. So Oscar introduced me to the Beatles, just old Walkmans. So that was that's how you know I love music. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Led Zeppelin. I was so thankful, Oscar, man. Because that's the whole thing again with Diddy. That Led Zeppelin album number 4 is where he has that dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. And that guy talked about how whack Diddy was and couldn't do the bars, how he wrote it. And I was like, that's crazy, because I told my wife when I was a freshman at High Point University, and I was in a little rap group called Ill Squad. And I knew that beat from, again, Oscar myself. By the time I went back to Abide Middle, being around a lot more black people and you know, my community and shit like that, and white people, and not so much just all white. And it's like I was one of in my all junior high, it was just me and one other black guy. We were both in 7th grade, and his mom was white. But going back to there, then I got back into hip hop. You know, that's when I still went to Westminster Christian. My first tape was Das Effects. I made Daddy buy Stop driving off of Salt Dixie Highway. So that's what I'm saying. That's how it's like me and music. It's a broad spectrum. Yeah. So like when I say rip hop, so some of my music, I have like a song called one of my songs my daughter used to like, and it's I'm kind of not really blanking out. I'm trying to. It's called Life of Choose. I'll be waiting for you, baby. I'll be waiting for you, baby. The whole different type, like it's weird. And then I rap in the end of it. And then I come back in with that weird, like kind of falsetto, chilling. And I have that type of sound where it's like I'm kind of mimicking that You remember that? Like they used to play the Star Spangled Banner, and then you hear. So I do a lot of stuff from like fourth, fifth grade. I used to be known as like the sound effects kid, and and Josh Martin used to love that shit. I used to run around and just make a lot of sound effects, but I was always disturbing and disruptive in class.
No, I
Mr.
can definitely get
Gibbons,
that.
he was more cool with me because he was a black usher from the Baptist church I went to. So I didn't have a harder time in fifth grade at Devonshire Elementary because I had a teacher and he also knew I was on the usher board at the church. He was an usher. But like sixth grade, I had to still kind of pipe down. So he used to always be known for sound effects. And then that next year, when I went to West Cruise Christian, like I said, I found classic rock. I always loved music though. Third bass, Bryan Adams. You remember? I think you're my age. You remember that Bryan Adams song that was like crazy for that Kevin Costner Robin Hood movie? You know the one I talk, or if you remember that one, "I Will Always Love You" by Bryan Adams.
Oh yeah.
Remember how huge that record was? People remember that record.
Yeah.
Like Michael Bolton days and
yes.
George Michael.
Yes.
Yeah. See what I'm
Huge.
saying?
They're huge.
I love music. CNC Music Factory.
So, like, your love for music is there to put your stuff out, like to create music yourself, right, and put out albums and everything. How was that for you, or like, why did you want to do it at that particular level?
Like I said, just like that love for music, and then the visual. I think it's like two things with me. I know the visual, you have to have it, but to me, it's just the love for music. I started realizing I started writing music like on and off probably since I was like 14, 15, little silly stuff. But took it a little bit more serious when I went to HPU in North Cackalack. And then I was just tired of having these books, man. Like pads and pads. Like, so when my daughter was born, I was just like, man, fuck this shit. I'm gonna start recording this music professionally. Yeah. So I went to school. I got a Bachelor of Science in Communications from FIU. So I know the ins and outs. Like I said, I worked at a television station. I've been around the arts. I've been like one of my favorite stories was me smoking a blunt with Y'all bless his family who's Gangstar from Guru from Gangstar.
Yeah.
Premier wasn't there, but I hung out with him, and he was like, I'm Jamaican. Like, come on, man. So me watch that show with you and Rachel from Caribbean Ruddins. I mean, no, so y'all Jamaican. So that was my thing, and we were there to see Nas at Club Mansion on South Beach.
Yeah.
During the time he had the beef with Jay-Z for Ether album. And I was there covering, and I was there with a producer. We're on the third floor. I'm like, Nas is not coming all the way up there for this ride and all this food. With all these people, Nas is a short man. You see how difficult it was me to get up here with this camera?
Yeah.
I was telling her we need to be down there. I left my producer upstairs with them $75,000 beta cameras. I've been around artists. I've been around the entertainment industry. I did that for like 5 years. Like I met Kelly Price when she just got married and saw that big ass rock. Actually, I was telling my homeboy this, my homeboy's cousin, who's one of my producers, the pharmacist, how I missed out seeing TOK, and Janine is still mad at you for making me leave that concert. Kelly Price, TOK was a closer. I want to say it was Anthony Hamilton who opened.
Oh wow!
When I seen him at that Diddy Block party with Jadakiss, like with that Y song, like a year or two later, I had already seen Anthony Hamilton. So it was Anthony Hamilton, Kelly Price, and TOK. That was a bill. And she got her Kelly Price interview, Anthony Hamilton, and she was done because she's Black American and don't care about no reggae. But meanwhile, it's the TOK, and they were going the fuck off, and I'm walking out the camera mad as hell. God damn, I'm seeing like folks I know from Killian and shit and Southridge, who I went to goddamn high school with. They about to turn the fuck up. Man, I've been still telling this story. I was so mad at shit. I was telling the pharmacist, and he was like, "Yo, I know Alex." I'm like, "You want to call Alex?" He's a guy who's always you and I. He's the one who does that singing. I don't know if you know 2OK. He's a singer in there. He's the one that make all the girls go crazy.
Yeah.
With that song, you the song about the boy getting killed and his mom is left. When you cry, I cry.
Yeah.
You cry, I cry. That's Alex. But anyway, so Farmer, you know, Jason saying, "Oh, I could." He was like, "Yeah, look, he just called me." He was like, "You want to give me on a song?" I was like, "No." He's working on his album. I was like, "If anything, get me Burro Banton. I don't want Alex." You hear the deep baritone voice. I can't do nothing with Alex.
Yeah.
Give me Burro Banton. I got a song I want called Tobaran Tob, Tobaran Tob, Tobaran Tob. When we touch on the road, that's like Burro Banton when he does badadan bad, me badadan bad from way back then when me bust me shot up a Spangler on. He said him come out the first man come out from Studio One. When I heard that's another reason why I fell in love. When I was playing under the mango trees in Jamaica, it's like 5 years old in my backyard, and we had like the help of them cooking dinner and stuff like that. Cause mommy and daddy was probably gone. We had a helper called Dawn.
Yeah.
Help was like nanny. The help was like how you say nanny in a if y'all talk like Yankee. And she would just have the radio going on. So I was Garnet Silk. That's another reason I love music. You know, I grew up in the 80s in Jamaica, where music was tough.
Yeah.
Garnet Silk would come out like how on the way to I'm on the way to Zion, and just that whole album that Garnet Silk had before he unfortunately was killed. But Burro Banton, when I heard him as a little boy, I was playing in the dirt. I was like, that shit was like, whoa. It just like that in the essence also to me, before I met Oscar, that's what made me fall in love with what's called dancehall reggae music. Another song, which is the only, I joke and tell people, this is before I went to Kez concert. I'm just Siberian, I'm going to take my wife up a Siberian with my brethren. And soca artist named Kez. Never heard of open for Barris. And now I have 2 songs from Kez I like. There's like 4 soca songs out there. Like other than that, I hate soca music. That's weird, right? I'm gonna tell you, I love music, but here's one genre I'll admit that I hate. Besides 4 songs. First one I ever loved. I'm like 6 years old. Down a Hugh then down a Marvel Garrison. I'm hear something called 10 cent, 5 cent, 1 cent, dollar. 1 cent, 5 cent, 10 cent, dollar. Sorry, dollar wine. 1 cent, 5 cent, 10 cent, dollar, and I pick up because he's so instructional in what you're supposed to do. And again, it's like Israel, you know, us being the real chosen people written of in the scriptures, call and response, because that's how Masha or Moses talked to the people, and Aaron was really where we get all the music from, because Aaron was the priesthood, and that's where all those psalms from David, all those things are musicians talking. So the call and response is one of the biggest things. You look at a lot of big records, it's call and response. DMX. Where my niggas at? Where my niggas at? Right? Call and response with that type of energy. And so this was 5 cents, and he was so instructional. I figured out what he was saying. He's like, I need to hit my pelvis to the front when he says 1 cent, throw my hips to the left when he says 5 cent, throw my hips to the right when he says 10 cent, and throw my butt back when he says $1. And I figured that out, and I was doing this little dance, and my dad was looking at me driving in this old yellow Lada we used to have, one yellow Lada, what them called station wagon. Lada like I want to rush on the vehicle. And my dad just started laughing. I was just entertaining my dad and with the music that was on. So sometimes it's the joy that you bring other family members when you feel joy. I think is what engulfed me into always having the love of music in my back of my head. You know.
So tell us about some successes that you've had, during your career, as like putting out this music, cultivating a fan base. What have you been able to achieve over the years?
Okay. So before that, I want to say "Treated to the Bone" is one of the second other soca songs I like. So 2 out of 4, 50% of my soca music. And like I said, the other 2 are from Kez. So, just honestly, the fight that I had when I say one of the most successes now is being in charge of my own publishing.
Okay.
Finally got away from just copywriting, and I have the publishing and all my stuff that I put out, all my music. I remember working in film here in Atlanta, worked for other people with my entertainment company, which is Lion Art Entertainment, means Lion Heart in Hebrew. So it's REA Lab Entertainment. And basically, when I was working and doing film for other people, like early 2010, 2011, I saw Hebrew art and he had this P on his head. I was like, damn, he ain't got a C on his music on YouTube. He got a P. And I think I was always just been a student of all paperwork aspects. I might even like send him a discussion or a chat and just ask him, hey, how do you get that P? How did you get your publishing? Just not even think about music. That was, like I said, 2011. I started music profession in 2014. And when signing up with CD Baby, apparently CD Baby is song trust or a partnership. So they tell you when you get into the music, you need to get your copyright, but then you need to get registered with a PRO, EMI or ASCAP. And I chose ASCAP because I know I'm a writer and I'm a producer. Like I said, I was doing film before I transferred into really just music solely. So I was like, let me choose ASCAP, but and one of the things was CD Baby got me in because I didn't have to then go and sign up for ASCAP and pay that ASCAP fee, entry fee, and all that. Once I did with CD Baby for that, my first single called Heart Attack, in 2014, I was able to just get, a few months later, got my ASCAP card with a member number. So that was an early win, right? That win created a headache that I didn't learn about till maybe like 2019, 2018. When I'm asking questions. Okay, I see I'm getting some money from you guys. I get paid from you guys for streaming and stuff like that. But then where's my stuff from ASCAP? And then they said from ASCAP you're supposed to go to the MCL, right? And then from MCL you go to Song Trust last. Now knowing CD Baby's already connected to Song Trust, they already connected to the finish line, and they don't want you to know that.
Yeah.
They're keeping this information for the second step to get money from ASCAP. So one of the wins I had, so I share with Booney, like one of my day ones here in Atlanta, and he's a rapper. And he's starting his own record label. It's called Son of a Records. He's a dope rapper. He's got some dope rappers. He's got dope producers. But I'm teaching him not to make this mistake. So now I'm a distro kid now.
Yeah.
Because I had to go on a fuck CD Baby campaign. I got me. I said straight. You see me? Literally hashtag fuck CD Baby. And after I did it, some years later, other people have joined the hashtag. Other artists, when them find out. There's a young white lady who goes through it, and she said this shit is terrible. One folks were collecting 100% of my publishing. I didn't get paid shit from 2014 to 2019. Was kept on asking them. That's 5 years of money. And then, of course, they talk about that black box. Oh, if you don't get your money as an artist, it's going to Drake and Taylor Swift. It's a black box. So all that shit is really bullshit. It was hyper scary, but I don't know because they got me for 5 years.
Yeah.
As a writer, and for my publisher, they got me.
I think TuneCore used to do the same thing because when I released projects, and I had already set up my ASCAP prior to that. I had the publishing side and the songwriting side. And when I did 2 projects with them where I let them be the distributor, and I saw where they were doing publishing administration rights and, collecting that for you because, you would have to do it yourself.
Right.
So when I signed up, they sent me an email. I was like, oh, we wasn't aware that you had your own publishing entity. I was like, So it was like, send us a letter of direction, the LOD. And I did that or whatever, and of course they have to send me my statements along with the payout and all that. But I was actually at a music conference in Nashville a couple of years back, where I was in a publishing room with someone with ASCAP, a representative, and I was talking to them and asking questions about that. He was like, "Yeah, we don't really like them, because of situations like that."
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's about like learning the business side of the music, and that's
Right.
what I've always done since jumping in since 2005. Like I used to buy books, read articles, magazines, all this stuff. Anything I can get my hands on that pertain to the music business side, and all these different sources of information would say the same thing.
Yeah.
Learn the business side, make sure you keep publishing, understand how money is made. And now even with the whole streaming aspect, like there's a lot of artists who don't do sound exchange. And I'm like,
Yeah.
they're missing out on money because my first sound exchange check came, when did I get that check? It was back in 2014 or something like that.
Mhm.
Where I had a song that made it to Brazil and they used it.
Okay.
And
That's
so
what's
they,
up.
of course, because I own the copyright as well, they had to send me money for that plus using the song. So it was all in one statement check. And I'm going to the mailbox and there's money just sitting there.
It's interesting you said because me and you, I might have to pick your brain on some of that music side on because that was one of the things I kept on bringing up to CD Baby. It was
Hmm.
ASCAP and Sound Exchange. I still
Hmm.
haven't really got like a straight up here. This is from Sound Exchange, a check like how you said a paper check in the mail or anything
Hmm.
like that. I haven't got that, and I have a song running in Brazil that talk about love. I had
Hmm.
that start running in Brazil on a radio station, small FM station. But
Hmm.
they said they show me like how to claim my royalties, and I thought MCL would do it, but oddly enough, the MCL won't
Well,
because
the MCR,
they
well, it
only do
depends
American,
on,
so they
yeah,
only do
that.
American.
And when it comes to international, those are different royalties because, like, you can get paid performance royalties internationally and still get paid mechanical royalties as well if you're all the same person. In the
Yeah,
United States, you can't get paid performance royalties because it's illegal. They only pay songwriting mechanical royalties when
okay,
it's played on terrestrial radio. Now,
right,
when it's interactive, like let's say Pandora or Tidal or somewhere where it's streaming from it's not terrestrial, it's digital, but it's also interactive, where or non-interactive.
yeah,
Those are all collected by either your PRO or by Sound Exchange. And like I said, because you produce your own music and you write your own music, whatever, you're also your own copyright holder as well. So you're the master. That's where the master recording is being
right,
generated money off of those type of platforms. So you should be getting those checks too.
right.
So I'm like, it's all
It's
about.
a lot. Like I'm
Mhm.
saying, I'm still cracking the code because I was able to get a nice basically still just answering that question because it was his dog was going ham for some
Mhm.
reason. It was still a loaded question. It was in. Come here, Woody. Come here. Sit. Good girl comes. So basically, Woody, stop it. Daddy's doing an interview. Yeah. So around November of last year, I
Mhm.
was able to get some back pay. Like I said, all the way from 2019
Mhm.
with my ASCAP. Then
Mhm.
I thought that was a win, and I just found out that because now I've started getting stuff from from last November, almost a year, yeah, over a year now. Um, and it's like every month. I'm like, okay, this is different. And then
Mhm.
now I found out I could also get the publishing, so I had to register for ASCAP on the publishing side, which is obviously things you
Mhm.
had. Um, so the sound exchange is the next one. I want to figure that out, and then whatever thing these people had in Brazil.
Mhm.
But you seem to definitely know your stuff because the fact you said you were getting stuff when I started the recording in 2014 and was
Yeah.
just happy with that. Obviously, I know you're doing well for yourself as well. This is always good to see.
Yeah, and then, when me doing music, I just wanted to do it just to show artists because I have a love for music as well, just like you. But I always wanted to do like the executive side. But because I was working with artists at the time, like I signed artists to independent label and
Okay.
was helping them. But due to their own circumstances, it didn't materialize into putting anything out commercially because they allowed their personal life to disrupt their professional life. So I was
Yeah.
like, I'm spending all this money on
Yeah.
recording and, mixing and mastering and stuff like that, photo shoots. And before about to drop projects, like the one artist I signed was a rapper. He was like, he just didn't feel it anymore. Very talented, but I get it. The other one was a
Yeah.
singer and she just had so much going on with her personal life that,
Hmm.
she couldn't focus. So I started doing
Right.
stuff myself and I went through the entire process
Yeah.
encoding, making sure the metadata is in it, registering to media base and BDS, which was two different companies. Now they've merged into one is Nielsen media base BDS or whatever they want
Yeah.
to call it.
Yeah. I'm with them too. You actually just reminded me. I need I need to go register all my last singles with them.
Yeah, that's the
Hey,
thing.
oh man, I
Registering
forgot
AYA
about them.
stuff
I need to
first.
go back and do my paperwork for that.
Yeah, I'm like, but it's a lot on the
Talk about
administrative
all the
side.
songs I told you about, never winning. They're
Uh-huh.
not a Nielsen. You just reminded me. Damn.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I made sure that everything was
It's
registered.
always something else though on the music side, man.
It
It's like
is, and
they
then
want
with
so much
the
stuff you could leave money on the table anywhere.
yeah, you can, and that's the thing. If you don't have it registered with all the different places you need to, you will be missing out
And
on
be
money.
organized with it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And like even like making sure that I'm saying you got your song splits correctly with when you collaborate with other people. And then half the
Yeah.
time they don't even have this stuff. Like I've done
Hey,
stuff with
I'm
other
going through that. I'm
artists.
going through that so much right now. Like I literally basically kind of leaving because of the sound quality too. But I'm about basically leaving my brethren them in a Decatur.
Hmm.
And I'm just gonna start recording with my homeboys people now
Hmm.
because of that.
Yeah.
Because like I don't want to be working with you still and be have my shit right, and you just won't do an LLC or do something
Hmm.
so paperwork's right. Then it's like you're telling me this name and I look it up, and there's somebody else
Hmm.
who's Black Magic, and their shit is all
Hmm.
caps. And then it's the other, and then you have a team of people behind you, and they're all following you. You're the leader, and you don't want to do. It's like, man, fuck
Yeah.
that. I don't. I just like, and that's why I guess they say sometimes people change, but it's the mind state. Because other
Exactly.
people change when you know you could do better, and there's a way to actually then get passive income for your family.
Hmm.
Why won't you do it? And it's like
Yeah.
$100, and it's maybe $100 here. It's not a lot of money just to
Hmm.
start out. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to get the shit back. You see I'm getting numbers. It's not like I'm playpen with it.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. But it's funny that you said how you describe how that one rapper just didn't want to rap anymore, and the girl had personal issues. I not just I was talking about the recording people, but when I was doing film, and
Hmm.
I was doing like music videos, who they wanted to rap and shit. And I was talking about film. So like, all right, I see you actually recorded you're not bullshitting. I will spend some time with you. And I will record. I will do some music video, and I used to do that in Miami, but I used to get paid. Same thing. If I'm
Hmm.
going to do a video, you have to pay me X amount. This is the amount of time I was going to take me to do it. I still did
Hmm.
a few little videos here for other people, but it's always a thing with that type of business. You got to have what, like my dad said, business is consistent. You got to have a return
Hmm.
customer, and it's not
Hmm.
really a return customer, then it's not consistent, right? So it's not
Hmm.
really a functioning business. And then if you have to be going out trying to convince people at the time, it's like because my daddy sold Island Life Insurance, and he can still go
Hmm.
back now. Me and him were still talking about how much shares he had and what is still paid. And that was the one thing when I was a little boy. Like I remember having to shake a lot of people's hands in Kingston. Hey, this is my son. This is my son. He be working selling that insurance.
Hmm.
So I know not to play with business, and that's the thing. It's like these artists. I was doing shit for them. yeah, I get paid here, but they're not return customers. It's too
Mm-hmm.
slowed down. It's not enough. And then the hours of time to take the edit too.
Yes.
That's one thing. I still really don't have any music videos. I went out and started filming Talk About Love to make my first music video. Because I have all this footage. It's like, damn, I did like a 2-day shoot for myself real quick. And I have some
Mm-hmm.
more shit interiors to do and get like another model and then pay like this one white girl in England. She wants to dance for it and shit. Some TikToker. But
Mm-hmm.
all that's cost. I pay like 150 or some shit. She'll put it on TikTok, but I'll use the background, the footage, and interlay it. And I want to show different cultures of people because this song's about love. It's about two commandments that Yeshua, Yahushua spoke.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to do it right, especially my first thing. And I got puppeteering in there with my mascot,
Yeah.
glow in the dark. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different stuff going on with that. So all that I can control. I can control
Mm-hmm.
the time and editing. These other artists, I couldn't necessarily control them. Same thing with you. You can't control what they're going to do with the time, when they're going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Like even now, I just talking about my homeboy, the pharmacist, and he put me onto his brethren. I just
Mm-hmm.
found out this dude he wrote a lot of the songs for Sammy
Mm.
and never got paid as a writer.
Yeah.
So now that brother is using AI because he has the same problem. He's writing
Mm-hmm.
songs using AI, try to get on with a lot of these people with AI.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't never gonna get that money for Sandy. Everybody knows Sandy in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So now this is my new recording engineer because of my other homeboy Booney's cousin,
Mm-hmm.
the pharmacist who put me on him. Now I'm going to another studio on damn it in Henry County.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Shawty now, me and him are both Hebrew. We ain't working on the Shabbat. We're gonna work on the first day and we're gonna do this and this. But it's like some of the things you're talking about, he's had problems with. So all of us
Mm-hmm.
had problems with artists, and we all figured out what's the best way to do it? Put my energy into myself.
Yeah.
Do it myself. I can be consistent with myself as best as I can be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's back to that whole shit. It's out of necessity almost.
Yeah, it is. I'm like,
The
you
right
sitting there,
Jay-Z says it's out of necessity.
yeah, you sitting there trying to help other out to, get their dreams met, but then they're not consistent. And I'm like, I can't build anything off of
Yeah, you
inconsistency.
can't
So I
build
had to
it.
do stuff myself.
Can't be the person with the good heart, and the money, and the time, and the patience. Man, fuck
Uh-huh.
all that shit. At some
Yeah,
time, hey, shit got to stop sometime.
exactly. So that's where I just transitioned to, went into, podcasting and building a radio station and all that, and just doing it that way. Because working with artists from a label standpoint, I'm like, it's hard. People don't talk about that, but I do
That's why
want
I'm
you
my own
to
label. It was like
exactly.
I get some people sometime, and even when I get little people to rap with me, it's still like you kind of like you got to pull their leg and work with their
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But that's everybody. Everybody, life is just too difficult. This economy,
Mm-hmm.
people's mentality these days. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. You know.
But I do want you because I gotta do another interview here in a little bit at 12.
Yeah,
But I
man.
want you to let everybody know how can they check out your music, where they need to go, and if they want to support.
Yeah, definitely with me, I prefer everybody would hit me up on Apple Music, and it's capital O, capital S, capital A. Man, capital M, of course. So it's OSA Man, which I had to fight CD Baby for years
Mm.
because of the S and the A. They wouldn't capitalize it.
Mm.
So a lot of my stuff was just prolonged, just unnecessary things.
Mm-hmm.
There's another artist named Osa the same way. So don't confuse me with him. He's capital OSA too, but I think he's supposed to be the one with capital O, lowercase s, lowercase a.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm Osa Man, YouTube or Apple Music. Definitely hit me up like that. Social media, I really don't care. I'm more and just about what I do. You know what I'm saying? Which is TCIB, taking care of business as a brother should.
Mm-hmm. That's what's
Well,
up.
taking care of business in the most professional manner. So I call it professionalism.
Professionalism. I love it. I just love the lingo. Well, everybody out there, y'all make sure y'all go and support OSA Man. Like you said, go to Apple Music. and spell his name correctly, capital OSA, followed by Man, MAN. Y'all keep
Amen.
supporting the platform and all the interviews that we put out, and support the independent artists because the independent artists need supporting.
I just want to say big up to, we're definitely talking about my boy Andreas right here. He's banked out, you know what I'm saying? Money falling all in pockets, all out the bank. It's Banked Out Radio. It's my first podcast. I appreciate you having me. OSA Man Loop Music. I do it to life as opposed to death. Shalom.